Dr. Karen here, another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest, and this is the week of October 22nd, 2018, and this week's news has to do with a lot of two things. One is mass consciousness, and the other is the energetic body. So let me talk about mass consciousness first. So we get these periods through the ascension process where we start as light workers, as sensitive souls, we start being able to expand our awarenesses. We talked about that last week. And in this case, when mass consciousness is going through some detox, a healing phase, sometimes we get to kind of witness or feel some of that stuff. Now, it is actually pretty common for most people to be completely embroiled in whatever's going on with mass consciousness emotionally and, thoughts and mental activity, things like that. So sometimes those beliefs will be resonant. And what happens is if there's an emotion or a belief that you might be resonating with mass consciousness, so that's not for your highest and greatest good, then that might be coming up for healing. So for a lot of folks this week, I've noticed not only are they feeling maybe some negative energy from mass consciousness and then thinking maybe it's their own stuff, it could be even being able to feel what's going on in their other timelines, mass consciousness, which can be very confusing. I know for me, because I am in this place of, my personality is pretty stable. And I can go into these areas of, peace and joy and calm fairly easily. So I know that if I'm disturbed emotionally, more often than not, it is not my stuff. And I might our human brains tend to choose things in our lifestyles like, oh, this must be what I'm upset about. Usually it's not that. So if you're a light warrior sensitive soul, what I encourage you to do is actually test. Ask questions and test. So what we do in Topican Healing is we connect to the source and we ask, is what I'm feeling right now my stuff? And more often than not, it's not your stuff. And then the next question would be, okay, now that I'm feeling it, is it necessary for me to feel this stuff? Now, sometimes it is because you have a job to do. Other times, most of the time, it's not. So that if that's the case, then you just go ahead and ask your God team to clear that away from you if you don't need to know, and send healing. Send healing to whoever stuff this is. So if you do need to feel it, sometimes it's because you need to be able to direct healing to a specific location. So in my case, this week it was like an alternate non-parallel timeline, that mass consciousness that, we can go ahead and send, healing to that. And it's probably good to put it on your healing list anyway. Just send to the collective unconscious. Every time you send healing to yourself, send to them as well. And then spread it out through all your other timelines. Can't hurt to try, right? Okay, so just so you know that if you start feeling really stressed or, sad or upset or life isn't worth living and you're just bored, not motivated, it could very well be resonating with mass consciousness, not your stuff. How you know that is the minute you figure that out and you clear that, usually within 10 minutes you feel completely different. So that's how you know. So let's get to the energetic body part. So I like to describe the various bodies through saying physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, and dimensional. So 6 different ways. Other books and other resources have called them different things, but I kind of like to simplify things for my students and my clients. So that's how I name them. And so the energetic body would include your energy systems like your meridians, your chakras, most of the auric field, the energies of each organ, gland, and cell. Yeah, there's not only a physical liver, for example, there's an energetic liver. So the issues with Ascension this week have to do with our energetic body and all parts of it being able to fully ground. So you don't have to know all the details about what exactly is it grounding and all that kind of stuff. But what you can do is ask, how well is my energetic body grounding since the last Ascension upgrade? And how well is energetic body integrating all energies, or how optimal integrating all energies since the last Ascension? And then get a percentage out of 100%. Ideally, you want it to be 100%. I know for me this week, I've had some difficulty. My energetic body has had some difficulty grounding some of that Ascension energy. So I, had these niggly little, things flare up. Now, if you're wondering why I have not talked about the patch on my head, it's because I forgot. So this is the X39 phototherapy patch, stem cell phototherapy patch, and I'm putting it here. Not so much because my pineal gland needs healing, because it's pretty darn healthy, but my physical eyes here, I've gone through surgeries. I even have a little silastic implant here. I've had retinal tears in them, have had laser surgery in them, and have been very, very nearsighted since I was very young, which means the eyeballs elongated. So what I'm intentioning to do is tell the stem cell phototherapy patch, the X39, to go and heal this area. Now this patch will work for the entire body, but I'm doing an experiment, just to see what that's like. So what I've noticed, interestingly, so I've started doing this over about 3 weeks or so, let's say every third day, because I like to put this on other areas as well. It's not always good in public to have this on, in the middle of my forehead. So what I have noticed so far is that my eyesight is when I first wake up in the morning, sometimes the vision seems clearer, but then I put my contacts in or put my glasses on, and then when I take them out, they're kind of blurry again, like my body's kind of readjusted to them. But I have noticed another thing is that in the past, I really didn't have difficulty reading close, and now I am. Things are starting to get blurry, which means that the contacts are now a little too strong. So anyway, we'll have to work on that, and eventually in a few months I'll be getting an eye exam just to see, compared to 5 years ago or whatever the last time I had it, whether or not there have been any significant changes. So stay tuned. Okay, so back to the energetic body. So what you want to do is test how happy your energetic body is grounding and integrating. Okay, so we want that to be 100%. The other thing that came up the other day too is way back when I was doing what we call Ascension score. So that would be, your whole being, and that there's no limit to that. It keeps going up and up and up and up with Ascension upgrades. It's very, very interesting. So this week, what I got was that the different bodies, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, dimensional, can be ascending, at different levels. The spiritual body is almost always going to be the highest. So instead of getting, these huge numbers like, 5,200 and whatever, or a million, I decided to rescale that to a 10 out of 10. So if your spiritual body is ascended 10 out of 10, that's the highest that, any part of your bodies have gone to. Then where are your other bodies? Where's the physical body at out of 10 in its ascended state? Mental body, emotional body. So this will be different for different people. But what I noticed for myself personally was that my energetic body was about 4 points behind my spiritual body, whereas all the other bodies were like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. The energetic body was lagging behind. It was only a 6 out of 10. And that's where some of the problems were, being produced. So how do you know if you don't have this, this balanced ascension? Well, it's probably pretty challenging to get everybody, all the parts of you, at a 10 out of 10 all the time. But when I was asking Source, what I did understand is that if it's 2 points off, you will probably notice a difference symptom-wise. If it's between 8 and 10, you probably won't. So what kind of symptoms may you have potentially if you're, in the ascension scale, one body is way, way, way far behind the spiritual body? Well, one of the things that can happen is headaches, neck aches, and what was the other one here? Oh, indigestion. Yeah, so just not digesting your food very well. So those are the 3 most common symptoms that can come up. And that can come up with other things too, like just not being able to ground and integrate ascension energies for sure. But you can check that in each of your bodies, how well you're grounding and integrating ascension energies. And then you can also use this new ascension scale. 10 out of 10 is going to be the highest one, and most of the time it's going to be your spiritual body. And then you can just check where the other bodies are at out of 10, and hopefully they'll be between 8 and 10. And if not, then you can go ahead and ask your guide team or do a Topocan healing command and directive to go ahead and, evolve all of those to a higher level ascension if it's for the highest and greatest good and it's safe for you. Yeah. Okay, so what else is going on? Well, a couple of announcements. Number one is remember to put November 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern on your calendar, because I will be talking about Unlocking Your Superpowers 2.0. It's a second iteration of Unlock Your Superpowers with Darius, who is from UWealth Telesummit. So if you have not already joined UWealth Telesummit, there's a bunch of wonderful free energy healing calls already going on. You can go to KarenCan.com/UWealth, all one word, YOUWEALTH. Okay, all one word. So KarenCan.com/UWealth, and that'll take you to their page where you can register for these free calls, and then you will get an alert and all the calling in details from them before my call on the 6th. So the second announcement is Monday. I'm excited because Dr. Elizabeth Sharavati is going to be on the call with me. And now she is a wonderful fertility specialist, but she's also, guess what? She's also a light warrior sensitive soul. So she's actually going to be sharing with us how sensitive women, people like me, how we can actually do business and be successful doing it the female way, the feminine way, because there's a lot of, marketing, and there's a lot of things involved in business. And business traditionally has been very masculine, very male focused. So Dr. Elizabeth is going to be helping us sensitive women know how we can really thrive being who we are, being women, being feminine, being sensitive in this, so-called masculine world. So I'm really excited for that interview. So join us 12 noon Eastern on the radio show, Light Warrior Radio. And if you're on my mailing list, KarenCan.com, you'll get an alert with all that information. And you can also join us, of course, on our Facebook group, Light Warrior Network. And of course, we'll also announce the show and the links and the call-in number. So if you have some questions for Dr. Sharavati, you can go ahead and call right in and ask. So this is going to be super, super exciting. So that's the news for this week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, the rest of the week, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.